Friends, join me as we sing the national anthems for America and Israel. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed when the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Colored by the of Penima, ayin huion Sophia, ulevate Mizrach Kadima, ayin letzion Sophia. Od lovda tikvateinu, hatikva shenot alpayim, liot amechafshi be'artzeinu, Eretz Zion, Yerushalayim, liot amechafshi be'artzeinu, Eretz Zion, Yerushalayim.
Please remain standing for the invocation if you're able. Shalom. It is the season of the Omer. In the Jewish calendar, a time of reaping. In the book of Ruth, Boaz greets the reapers by saying, Adonai imachem, usually translated, God be with you. But this phrase actually means God is with you. And at this time of AJR's smicha ceremony, a time of ordaining spiritual leaders for our community, honoring those who have given of themselves, we offer gratitude for the ways the divine lives in each of us and the ways that we share holiness with one another. May each person here today, whether ordinee or honoree, student, faculty, staff of AJR, member of the board, member of the community, friend, or family member, find new purpose as we witness the renewal of an ancient tradition of spiritual leadership. May those we ordain and those we honor reap a rich and vibrant harvest of wisdom and compassion, knowledge and caring, justice and healing. We have all come here at different moments in our lives, from different walks of life and ways of being. And yet we all know the world around us is not fully at ease. that so much is needed to care for our fellow human beings, our society, and our planet. We ask that those we send as our emissaries receive blessing and renewed energy to engage deeply in their chosen work and to touch hearts and lives with Torah and prayer, with connection, intention, and kind action. At the end of each day, week, month, and year, when they ask themselves, as Naomi once asked Ruth, "Where did you glean today, and where did you labor?" may they find joy and meaning in the answer. On this cusp of the new moon of Iyar signifying Or, light, we welcome the light that our new ordinees and graduates, our honorees and teachers bring to our world. And on this eve of Iyar, which some call the month of healing, we welcome the healing that each of you uniquely brings. May you be for our people a Meshiv Nefesh, one who restores the soul and strengthens the life force and brings many to the tree of life. We bless you, source of life, who has not withheld from us great thinkers and leaders, singers and healers, witnesses and teachers. At this season of reaping, we bless you, we bless all of us with Naomi's words from the book of Ruth. Al tavoi rekam, may you never return empty. May you and all of us know fullness. And at this time of joy, we recite the Shehechianu. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu bazman hazeh. Amen.
Please be seated. It's amazing. I love to say that in the synagogue and not have smicha. So, Baruchim Habaim, welcome. For those of you either here in person or on screen who don't know who I am, I'm Bill Levinson, and I have the privilege of being the chair of the Board of Trustees of AJR. We are here to celebrate 6 remarkable people receiving ordination as rabbis, including 4 who will also receive master's degrees in Jewish studies, 1 a graduate of our Cantus to Rabbis program, and the very first graduate of our Kolbo program being ordained both as a rabbi and a cantor. And we are also granting a master's degree to one of our current rabbinic students. And we honor an amazing member of our faculty. So to paraphrase King David, Kosenu Rivaya, our cup runneth over. So today, as you've heard, tonight is the eve, the beginning of the new moon and new month of Iyar. So we would classically refer to today as Machar Chodesh. Tomorrow is the new month. And tonight we will count the 15th day of the Omer. So let me as a layperson take a little bit of homiletic liberties and help you understand the enormous importance of today's ceremony and taking place literally on this day. So when our rabbis in the Talmud wanted to teach something that they knew was brilliant, but it didn't quite fit in with the words, they had a way of doing it. They would say, Al tikrei, don't read it as it is written, but rather change the vowels and you'll have another word. So today is not Machar Chodesh, tomorrow is the new moon, a new month, but rather Machar Chadash, tomorrow will be new. For each of our students we celebrate today, your ordination, your degrees. It's all very much a culmination of years of study, effort, intellectual exploration, and creativity. And yet, this precious moment in time is merely a brief way station on a lifelong journey that has preceded today, and an opportunity to re-energize yourselves for the ongoing life journey that lies yet ahead. Today is Machar Chadash, your personal portal for tomorrow's new perspectives, new efforts, new ways to be of service to the Jewish community and the world at large. Each of you has been radically transformed by your study and experiences. And that brings with it a responsibility to create opportunities for transformation for others, those whom you will serve and those whom you will simply encounter. And tonight we count the 15th day of the Omer, that 7-week period between Passover and Shavuot. Now the number 15 in Hebrew corresponds to the letters Yud, which equals 10, and Hey, which equals 5, and together that spells one of God's names. So you stand before us, Today, understanding that to see God in this world, we must be open to seeing the Tselem Elokim, the image of God, as reflected in each and every person. You take the pluralistic perspectives of the Academy and blend it with your own personal theologies, and seek to live, as Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel Zatzal said, in radical amazement. For all of you here in person or on the screen, I challenge you to look at today, now, this moment in time as your own Machar Chadash. Be inspired by the students we celebrate and become a part of the exciting AJR family in new, creative, and radically amazing ways. Support us on our continuing journey to build new ways of thinking and acting, new ways for people to discover their Jewish heritage and faith, and new ways to create blessings in the world. We are very sorry that Mayor Mike Spano of Yonkers, our dear friend and supporter, was called away and cannot be with us this afternoon. I am happy to introduce Adam Levine to represent Mayor Spano if Adam is here. So he may not be here, but I will tell you that we really missed out. If you've heard Mayor Mike in the past, he gives a good Dvar Torah.
I am not Mayor Spano. I'm Dr. Ora Horn-Prauser, the CEO and Academic Dean at AJR, and I am very, very happy to be here today and to add my welcome to what you've already received. Thank you for joining us. Those of you who are here, those of you who are online, every one of you is important to us, and we're so happy to share this special ordination and graduation with you. Many of you know us well. You're members of our community, students, faculty, alumni, board, loyal friends. But some of you are new to us, and we hope that today you'll get to know us a little bit. You'll see the beauty and the passion of our ordinees and graduates. You will feel the spiritual depth of the community, and you will begin to understand what it is that makes AJR the very special place it is. There is much to share about AJR, and I'd love to be able to just tell you why we're so special. So let me try. AJR is an accredited pluralistic seminary where students of all ages, backgrounds, and identities are welcomed, nurtured, and challenged to expand their horizons and deepen their understanding of Torah. Yes, but that doesn't really explain who we are. AJR cultivates students to become insightful, innovative, and caring leaders who are ready to meet the evolving needs of the Jewish community. Yes, that's true also, but it still is only part of it. AJR creates leaders who love, understand, and embrace diversity and create communities where everyone has a voice. We're getting closer, but these descriptions really miss the secret sauce of AJR. AJR is all about our people. It is about students who join us with such passion and devotion, with such a desire to lead the Jewish community and to make a difference that you can't help but be in awe of them. It is about our faculty who bring intelligence, deep knowledge, strong pedagogical skills, and spiritual depth to their classrooms, and as importantly, bring care and concern to their students, both in and out of the classroom. It is about our alumni who serve Jewish communities throughout North America and beyond, leaders who understand the importance of both the community and the individual, and who use the creativity, flexibility, and understanding of pluralism they developed at AJR to serve in these changing times in the Jewish community. It is our board who work under the devoted and able leadership of Dr. Bill Levinson, whom you just met, to support our school and to make it possible for our community to grow. And it is our administration, people who work all day, every day, not on Shabbat, and night, supporting our students, caring about each individual, visioning new ideas, and frankly, doing all the things that need to be done, both in ways that are obvious and a tremendous amount behind the scenes, because that's what's needed. They do it for love of AJR and love of our students. And please join me in a special thank you to our administration, without whom none of this would be possible. Yes, it is all about the people. And that is what our Jewish community needs. Spiritually evolved clergy who have fulfilled a rigorous educational curriculum, studying Talmud, Bible, liturgy, history, philosophy, nusach, pastoral skills, education, entrepreneurship, science, the arts, and yes, more than that. Those who have studied our sacred literature and who are able to apply it to the needs of today, and who work to support each individual in the same way that they build communities. Mazal tov to today's ordinees, to the graduates, to our honoree. Each of you represents what makes AJR the kind of place the Jewish world needs to train our leaders. And an extra note to our ordinees. As you leave AJR, remember the importance of your chavruta. Remember your study partners. Remember your friends and your colleagues. And take care of each other when you're out there. And don't forget to come back and visit. And to all, we look forward to you to become a part of this unique community. We invite you to join us in our sacred work. I would now like to present the Pnei Torah Award to our honoree, Rabbi Jeff Siegelman. It is an honor to be able to present this award. Jeff has a long and impressive career for many, many years as a pulpit rabbi. And then 11 years ago, Rabbi Siegelman began teaching at AJR. Students were taken by his experiences, which he so willingly shared, and by his constant desire to help. Jeff exemplifies a life of service to God and the Jewish community every day. He cares so deeply for the students, body and soul, and shares of himself with each of them. It seems especially fitting that this award to honor a faculty member is called the Pnei Torah Award. A rabbinic dictum that AJR has taken as one of our mottos is Shivim Panim LaTorah. The Torah has 70 faces, or many faces, depending how you want to translate it, which reflects our pluralistic vision. Rabbi Siegelman certainly models this philosophy in his life and in his teaching. However, why do we speak about the faces of Torah? Why the faces of Torah? What is it makes the face so important? Well, the Torah itself helps us here. When Jacob and Esau reunite after many years of separation, Jacob says, Ra'iti panecha kirot panei Elohim. For to see your face is like seeing the face of God. Jacob compares seeing Esau's face to seeing God's face because he sees in Esau's face acceptance, appreciation, caring, and a desire for a deeper relationship. Rabbi Siegelman's students have the same privilege. When they look at his face, they find a reflection of the appreciation for who they are, the caring, devotion, and acceptance that they see if they could behold God's face as well. While Jeff is our fieldwork coordinator, that is only one part of how he contributes to AJR. He is always finding more ways to help AJR students, whether it's extra teaching, whether it's extra meeting with students, whether it's extra connecting. The list could go on and on. You wouldn't believe it. He is the one we often turn to when a student or an alum contacts us with a problem, whether personal or professional. And no matter where we catch him, where he is or when it is, he is there to serve and to help. Jeff, could you join me, please? Don't clap yet. There'll be time to clap. I was told that one of your real loves is James Taylor. And I was told that when I asked what book of the Bible is your favorite. And they're like, no, James Taylor. And a James Taylor song that feels especially fitting to today is You've Got a Friend. Because winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call and I'll be there. You've got a friend. And our gift to you is a sound wave rendering of the song, You've Got a Friend, because we have found...
It's very cool. I love this.
Because, you know, we have found a friend, we have found a colleague, and we have found a rabbi.
Thank you
Mazal
very
tov.
much. Thank you.
And I'll put this down.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I only have a couple of minutes, so I want to use a minute to say a word of Torah in honor of our ordinees and those receiving advanced degrees, and then a minute of Hakarat HaTov. This week, we're learning the second parak, the second chapter of Pirkei Avot. Rabbi Yossi, the student of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, taught the following: Hatkein atzmach lilmod Torah she'ena Yerusha lach. Prepare yourself to learn Torah, for it is not an inheritance to you. In truth, the word hatkein could mean prepare, but coming from the language of tikkun, it might on a deeper level mean to mend yourself, to fix yourself in order to study Torah. For unlike an inheritance, Torah does not come to you easily or automatically. Interestingly, Rabbi Yossi was a Kohen. So initially, his spiritual leadership was inherited from his father. But now he was a rabbi, and he realizes that this type of spiritual leadership requires effort, fixing, mending. AJR is a place where we all, teachers and students, prepare and engage in tikkun, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually, for the never-ending work of learning Torah. In a place of pluralism, we learn to expand our view of life so that more Torah will make sense. And in the face of being challenged by ideas that make us uncomfortable, we learn to humble ourselves so that more Torah will penetrate our minds and our souls. And I am beyond proud to teach and to learn in this amazing community. And now just some thanks. Thank you to the Kadosh Baruch Hu, who I thank every day, who has made my chelik in this world to be amongst those who embrace Torah and who proudly wear the mantle of spiritual leadership. Thank you, Hashem. In the summer of 2012, I was waiting in line in Central Park for tickets for that night's performance of Shakespeare in the Park. And my phone rang, and it was Dr. Ora Horn-Prauser, who asked if I would be interested in teaching a class at AJR. In truth, I cannot remember what show I saw that night, but I will never forget how happy I was to receive that invitation. And so thank you, Ora. Thank you to the board, to the administration, to the faculty, and especially to our wonderful students. Thank you all for the opportunity that you've given me to grow with you and to teach you in a deep and a powerful way. And finally, I have to thank my wife. I would say to my students, as Rabbi Akiva spoke to his students regarding his wife, my Torah and your Torah are really her Torah. For without her, I would never have been able to devote my life to the rabbinate and to the many hours a day of Torah study, which I enjoy. So thank you all for this great honor. Thank you for James Taylor. Whoa. And may the Kadosh Baruch Hu bless us with good health, all of us, so that we can continue to study and to grow together for many years. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Rabbi Beth Kramer-Mazer, and it is my honor and delight to share this day with all of you. Every year, AJR celebrates its students for their leadership, service, and dedication to our community. So many of our students do Avodat HaKodesh, sacred work, to benefit all of us, and we deeply appreciate their generosity of spirit. This year, AJR honors the following students. The Community Service Award goes to Kelly Onicle in recognition of her tireless and remarkable leadership and her dedication to the AJR student body. The Lada'at Chochmah Award for Outstanding Devar Torah informed by science goes to Rachel Kahn, who thoughtfully explored Parshat Akev in her submission. With gratitude, this year we announce a new award, the Rabbi William and Dina Horn Award for Love of Hebrew Language. This award was generously established by their family in honor of their 90th birthdays. The recipient of this award in its inaugural year is David Hill. ARC, the Association of Rabbis and Cantors, also generously grants student awards to celebrate their creativity and innovation. This year, the Rabbi Herschel J. Matt Creative Liturgy Award goes to Toria Stark for her excellent, and that is for her excellent submission entitled Celebration of First Worlds. And also more from ARC, the Rabbi Chana Timoner Creative Liturgy Award goes to Donna Greitzer Gottlieb for her superb original work entitled Shabbat Liturgy. We congratulate the award recipients and are so grateful for these special contributions to AJR and to Jewish life. We thank and honor all those who contribute their time, leadership, and creativity in so many meaningful ways to our community. Thank you.
This song, taken from Tefillat HaDerech, a prayer for the way, a prayer for the road, says, Hinei anochi sholeach, behold, I will send malach lefanecha, an angel before you, badarach, on the road, lahaviacha al hamakom, and bring you to the place asher hachinoti, that I have prepared. So for the place that God has prepared for you and that you have prepared, may you be blessed.
Hamakum
I am happy to have the opportunity to bestow the MA degrees on our students. Candidates for ordination at AJR are required to earn their Master's in Jewish Studies as part of their ordination program. Some have fulfilled this requirement before attending AJR. The MA curriculum is a rigorous academic curriculum with emphases on sacred text and the contemporary Jewish community. It's an important part of AJR life. It exemplifies the academic rigor of our program. It makes the point that Jewish studies is not just for clergy, but is a birthright for us all. It points to the fact that there is tremendous value in being a learned and thinking Jew. We are proud of each of our students who have studied, written an MA project, and are now ready to be awarded their degrees. Dr. Matthew Goldstone, our Assistant Academic Dean, will join me in presenting our candidates.
I am very pleased to present Wendy Love Anderson as a candidate for the degree of Master of Arts in Jewish Studies. Wendy submitted a master's project entitled The Spiritual Lives of Medieval Jewish Women, a Preliminary Anthology. I am very pleased to present Howard K. Glantz as a candidate for the degree of Master of Arts in Jewish Studies. Howard submitted a master's project entitled An Argument Proactively Eliminating Mitzitza Befeh. I am very pleased to present Mark Goldman as a candidate for the degree of Master of Arts in Jewish Studies. Mark submitted a master's project entitled Hooking Up to Holiness, the Potentiality for Holiness During Sex Outside of Normative Jewish Marriage. I am very pleased to present Stephen Goldstein as a candidate for the degree of Master of Arts in Jewish Studies. Stephen submitted a master's project entitled The Ethics of Consistency, American Jewish Leadership for Reparations in the 20th Century and Why African Americans Deserve No Less Today. And I am very pleased to present Ne'ima Hirsch as a candidate for the degree of Master of Arts in Jewish Studies. Ne'ima submitted a master's project entitled The Jews of Tunis During the Holocaust.
Thank you very much.
I'm very honored to present this new original Coke composition that I wrote with Beth Stiles called Havu. The words are Havu Godel Lelohenu. We hope that you will pick up the refrain and that you'll join us. Feel free to clap along. If you want to stand in your seat and move, you may do that as well. So here we go.
Havu Godel
Before we begin our ordination part of the ceremony, we're very happy that Mayor Mike Spano of Yonkers, Representative Adam Levine is with us. And I do want to note that ever since we moved into Yonkers, Mayor Spano has been a true friend of AJR right from the beginning and through to today. And so we're very grateful that he was able to send you today, and we're glad that you could join us. So please.
Hello, everybody. My name is Adam, and congratulations to the newly ordained. It's a big task, and you're in great hands. So Mayor Mike Spano definitely appreciates everybody in this room. And on behalf of the mayor, I'm pleased to be here with you all at the Academy for Jewish Religion ordination and graduation ceremony. Unfortunately, the mayor had conflicting commitment today and couldn't be here, but he wanted me to share his warm sentiments. I wrote this, by the way. And I'm stumbling. All right. So the Academy for Jewish Religion brings our community together, and your contributions to the Jewish community are powerful and inclusive. Our Yonkers community, especially our Jewish community, is fortunate to have leaders like yourselves who are steep in tradition and creative in your approach to ritual and contemporary thought. Congratulations to all of today's candidates. We wish you well on your spiritual journey and all of your endeavors. Special thanks to the Executive Vice President and Academic Dean, Dr. Ora Horn-Prauser, the Board of Trustees and faculty of the Academy of Jewish Religion, and Director of Placement, Recruitment, and Cantorial Studies, Cantor Michael Casper. Once again, congrats to all the graduates and alumni, and best of luck to you. Thank you.
Good afternoon and Mazal Tov. I'm Rabbi Rob Scheinberg, interim rabbi in residence at AJR. And as you know, 6 outstanding new rabbis are about to be ordained, one of whom will also be ordained as a chazan, to serve God and the Jewish people and the world, and to teach Torah through their words and through their lives. We refer to the ordination of rabbis and chazanim with the Hebrew word semicha. And like every rabbinical or cantorial ordination ceremony, today's ceremony echoes the original semicha of a leader, which is in the book of Numbers, chapter 27, when Moses ordains Joshua as his successor. Our rabbinic sages considered their leadership authority to be derived from the authority originally granted by God to Moses, who passed it to Joshua, who then passed it to the other sages and prophets and scholars and teachers. And the word semicha is usually translated as the laying of hands upon something or someone. But a detail in the story of Moses' ordination of Joshua hints at an additional meaning of this word. God tells Moses to take Joshua, v'samachta et yadcha alav, and lay your hand upon him. But Moses actually does is different, because we then read, vayismoch et yadav alav. Moses laid his hands upon Joshua. Many commentators say that Moses' use of his 2 hands rather than one is a demonstration of his enthusiasm and eagerness to endow Joshua with leadership authority. And some commentators suggest the use of 2 hands rather than one makes this gesture not only an act of endowing Joshua with authority, but also an act of leaning upon, relying upon Joshua, which is another meaning of the Hebrew word semicha. Moses was depending upon Joshua to faithfully bring the teachings of the Torah into the future, just has been the case in every act of semicha since that time. At this point, I'd like to invite the members of the Batei Din, who will be the panels of 3 who signed the ordination certificates immediately before, to come and gather on the ramp. These are 3 individuals for each of our ordinees, chosen personally for this occasion. Some of these members of the Beit Din are teachers and mentors from the students' studies at AJR, and some are teachers and mentors from other contexts. Each Beit Din has a somech, the head of the Beit Din, who will place hands upon the ordinee, just as Moses did for his disciple Joshua. After the semicha takes place for all of our ordinees, they will each be welcomed and introduced by Dr. Prauser and by the chanting of a special reshut that AJR has commissioned, a poem inspired by the traditional liturgy for Simchat Torah. This poem calls forth each new rabbi and chazan towards God and towards their calling as teachers of Torah. And thereafter, each of our newly ordained rabbis, chazanim, will share their Torah with us. So to all of our ordinees, we say Mazal Tov. And as Moses said to Joshua, Chazak ve'ematz, may you be strong and have courage. And also Mazal Tov to all of us whose lives and learning are so enriched by these leaders and teachers.
Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May the source of being bless you and guard you.
Yaher Adonai Hana v'lecha v'yikunecha.
May the source of becoming shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Isa Adonai panavelecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May the one who is turn to you and grant you peace.
Shalom, shalom, v'yasem lecha shalom, 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 v'yasem lecha shalom, 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 v'yasem lecha shalom.
You can sit through that a million times and it's special every time, right? We are now going to invite each ordinee to receive their smicha documents and to be presented for the first time as rabbis and cantors. I will address each one individually, after which a reshut, a poetic liturgical introduction, specially commissioned by AJR, will be chanted, and then the ordinee will be presented as a rabbi or a cantor. The English translation of the reshut for our new rabbis is as follows. A new reshut for our rabbi cantor will be translated before he is presented. In the name of God, mighty, great, and awesome, let us raise our voices to sing in celebration of our student who has distinguished themselves these many years, though the time passed as mere days because of our love for them. Now persevere confidently to teach Torah, to provide leadership to the Jewish community, to stand up for what is right, to serve God, to bear loving witness to the unity of God. We ordain you to spread God's word as rabbi and counselor to our holy congregation. Arise, 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 rabbi, ordained to teach and instruct us in the wisdom of the 70 faces of Torah. I now invite Wendy Love Anderson and her presenter, Rabbi Dr. Matt Goldstone. Wendy, you give eloquent expression to the classical threefold vision of Jewish tradition in Pirkei Avot, al shlosha dvarim ha'olam omed, al ha'torah, va'al ha'avodah, va'al gmilut chasadim. The world is sustained by three principles: Torah, worship, and acts of kindness. As for Torah, you were already an accomplished scholar when you came to AJR. You have a remarkable facility for analyzing, teaching, and mastering sacred text. As for avodah, you have a love of prayer, and you radiate joy in your leadership of communal worship. Tellingly, when leading the AJR community, and probably not only the AJR community, in prayer, you infuse the experience with meaningful teaching. And as for Gmilut Chasadim, you are a giving member of your various communities. We are fortunate that you will be continuing your work as the student representative to the Board of Trustees as a full-fledged member of that body. You have been a giving, active member of your home synagogue, and we know that you will be bringing that sense of commitment and mission as rabbi in your new synagogue. All of us at AJR look forward to the Torah, Avodah, and Gmilut Chasadim that we know you will continue to bring to the academy community as well.
מרשות האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אפתח פי בשירה בהלל ובזמרה על תלמידתנו המופלגת משך שנה ושנה היו בעיניה כימים אחדים ואהבת אותה רק חזקי ואמצי להרבצת התורה ולצאת ולבוא לפני העדה, לעמוד לשרת בשם הגבורה, להודות לך וליחדך באהבה. מסמיכים כבודה להוראת הוראה, רב וחכמה תיקרא בקהילה קדושה. עמדי הרב נעמי חנה בת שרה זיסל מורה הורה, בחוכמה הורינו משתיבים פנים לתורה.
It is my great honor to present to you Rabbi Wendy Love Anderson.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here and to thank all of you for coming, especially my family and my friends and my future congregants. In keeping with my congregational future, I want to teach a story based on this week's inspirational Torah reading, Tazria Metzora. Yes, I'm not kidding. In Tazria Metzora, we learn that the minimum offering for a woman after childbirth or for a zav or zava after out-of-cycle emissions, is 2 birds, the cheapest available animal sacrifice. But the story goes that in the final years of the Second Temple, as Jews visited after multiple pregnancies or emissions and purchased multiple bird pairs, a single pair of birds came to cost as much as 1 gold dinar. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, the last leader of the Jerusalem Sanhedrin, swore to reduce the price. Then he entered the court and taught that any woman who came to the temple after multiple pregnancies or multiple episodes of zivah was only obligated to offer a single bird pair to purify herself. The bird pair market promptly crashed, leveling out at 1/100th of its prior price. Now, as a person who recently paid for kosher for Passover cheese sticks, I think it's clear why exorbitant sacrificial costs could be bad for the Jews. What's less clear is why Rabban Shimon chose to fix the problem through halakhic intervention. The medieval Tosafos suggests that perhaps he felt his contemporaries had confused a chumrah, a stricture, for a real Torah-level obligation. The 16th century Bartenura, on the other hand, insists that Rabban Shimon was deliberately pushing the halakhic envelope. Due to an emergency, poor Jews had stopped bringing temple sacrifices completely. Contemporary American-Israeli Rosh Yeshiva Joshua Kolb goes even further, writing that the actions of Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel are one of the clearest examples of a rabbi adapting the halakha to fit the needs of the Jews of his time. Now, no one will mistake me for Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, but I do take his actions to heart. AJR has given me tools for how to make a halakhic intervention, if that's what I need to do. But the challenge before me, before all of us, is to know what are the right changes to make and when to make them, so that our Jewish communities can continue to flourish through many more years of inspirational weekly Torah readings. Thank you.
I now invite Howard Glantz and his presenter, Rory Glantz. So sweet. Howard, you have already built a distinguished career as both a cantor and a Moel. And in both of those roles, you have introduced countless Jews to the beauty of Jewish prayer and the commitments of our covenantal tradition. In many ways, you reflect the spirit of the verse recited by all witnessing a Brit Milah ceremony. Nisbe'ah betov beitecha kodesh hechalecha. We find fulfillment and satisfaction in the goodness of your house and in the holiness of your temple. You are a warm and unifying force in the community you serve, as you have been here at AJR. You inspire others with your love of Judaism, your commitment to Jewish learning, and your personal character and capacity for friendship. In your expanded role as both cantor and rabbi and Moel, Nisbe'ah b'tov beitecha, kodesh hechalecha. We know that you will continue to spread goodness and holiness through your service to the Jewish community.
מרשות האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אפתח פי בשירה בהלל וזמרה על תלמידינו המופלג משך שנה ושנה היו בעיניו כימים אחדים באהבתו אותה רק חזק ויאמץ להרבצת התורה, לצאת ולבוא לפני העדה, לעמוד לשרת בשם הגבורה, להודות לכל יחדך באהבה, מסמיכים כבודו להוראת תורה, רב וחכם יקרא בקהילה קדושה. עמוד, עמוד, עמוד. הרב ראובן קלמן בן חיים אברום וחנדינה מורה הוראה וחוכמה הודיינו מ70 פנים לתורה.
It is my honor and great pleasure to present to you Rabbi Chazan Howard K. Glantz.
In Mishnah Avot, these words are brought by Joshua, the son of Parachia. Aseh lecha rav, ukeneh lecha chaver, vehevei dan et kol ha'adam lechaf zechut. We are extolled to make for ourselves a teacher, to procure for ourselves a friend, a partner, and to judge everyone in such a way that is weighted with their virtues. Now, I could easily use my time to express how all three of these missives manifested themselves in my 5 years at AJR. That is true in more ways than I could count. But actually, I'm going in the direction of wow, or as my Israeli friends and family say, wow. Such a meaningful name, especially Ben Parachia. That is what has my attention. Parachim are flowers, thus the blossom of God. And therein lies a message. What type of flower is deserving of that divine attachment, Yah? We, the newly ordained, will encounter many people in our service as Klei Kodesh. Some will exude a fragrant bouquet from the first encounter, while others will have buds that with potential, albeit a challenge to recognize. When we appreciate every individual's unique and valuable parachia, we will see God's face in theirs. Only when we see the divine in them will it be natural to tip the scales when assessing, when judging. What a blessing I have been given at this time in my life. In Midrash Tanchuma for Pekudei, we learn how comfortable it is in the womb. But then that angel comes and forces us out, and in the process causes us to forget all that we have learned from Etzba Elohim, directly from God. Well, it's been 5 years, 15 trimesters of learning, of just scratching the surface, affording me the ability to know what it is I do not know. Let us truly meditate upon that meaning. Meditate with kavanah, deep intention, to recognize the parachia, the blossom of God in everyone. We close out every traditional service with the line, Bayom Hahu. You may know it very well, even by heart. Bayom Hahu, Yehiyeh Adonai Echad, Ushmo Echad. And it is easy at that point in the service to be thinking about, well, what we do next, or who we'll speak with at Kiddush. But these precious words are part of Zechariah's magnificent vision. Bayom Hahu, on that day when all will be right in the world. But why wait for that day? Bayom Hahu can be every day, when we include everyone with the languages of body and soul, music and sign. On that day, it will be natural to hold the hand of both the familiar and of the stranger. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may God make it so for us and all God's children everywhere. Amen. All of it?
I invite Mark Goldman and his presenter, Rabbi Dr. Sheldon Har. Mark, the number of guests and admirers that are here to celebrate your ordination today speaks volumes about your character. And I've heard them. There's a little cheering section here.
Over 2 dozen.
Amazing.
From Florida.
Amazing.
Just for this man.
You embody a Yiddish bracha that was often cited by my own grandmother, Habchen by Gatum by Leiten, that you should find grace and favor before both God and the people in your life. You have. You came to us already an accomplished leader, both in the ACC, and you have demonstrated leadership as a member of the Academy community, generously sharing your enthusiasm for AJR with fellow students and others. As you, a product of the United Kingdom, celebrate the new beginning in your life, we recall the wisdom of the late Queen Elizabeth II.
A great Talmudist.
How could I not? Which you seem to have already embraced. And this is a quote from her. Each day is a new beginning. I know that the only way to live my life is to try to do what is right, to take the long view, to give of my best in all the day brings, and to put my trust in God. AJR is proud to speed you on your journey.
And I want everyone to recognize the devotion commitment that our congregants have made from Mark Goldman. And now I get, for my first time and for the first time of many here, Rabbi Mark Goldman. We need.
So Mark, we're still going to call you up.
מרשות האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אפתח פי בשירה והלל ובזמרה על תלמידינו המופלג משך שנה ושנה היו בעיניו כימים אחדים ואהבתו אותה רק חזק ואמץ להרבצת התורה ולצאת ולבוא לפני העדה, לעמוד לשרת בשם הגבורה, להודות לך ולייחדך באהבה. מסמיכים כבודו להוראת הוראה, רב וחכם יקרא בקהילה קדושה. עמוד, 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 הרב אברהם מהחונה בן יהודה ורבקה מורה הוראה וחוכמה הוריינו מ70 פנים לתורה.
And again, Rabbi Mark Goldman.
I now know how the Bar Mitzvah kids feel. One of my favorite TV shows growing up as a boy was Doctor Who. Heard of Doctor Who? A popular British science fiction series about an eccentric yet lovable extraterrestrial, look just like any of us, who zips through time and space and essentially doing good wherever he lands. Like many fictional characters, Dr. Who can never die. If he's inflicted with a mortal wound, he regenerates, changes his appearance and even personality, but is still the same person underneath it all. How many times do each of us regenerate? How different are we today than 5 years ago or 25 years ago? few years ago, I had a regeneration. Unlike the doctor who needed a mortal wound to start the process, for me it was the end of a 23-year relationship that precipitated a time of self-examination, digging really deep therapy, with a desire to encounter a more authentic version of myself. My decision to attend AJR, I think, was subconsciously related to that, but if I'm being really honest, it was out of a practical desire for marketability. A cantor and a rabbi, two for the price of one. Which congregation could turn that down? 3 years later, I realized the piece of the puzzle that I was so sorely missing. Hundreds of hours studying our ancient texts and modern interpretations affected much more than my base of knowledge, but who I am to my core. It is with great thanks to the entire faculty of AJR, most notably Rabbi Dr. Matt and Dr. Ora. I would also like to thank my friends, truly my family, who have traveled from South Florida to be here just for this, for me today. Thank you. Special thanks to my dear friends of 30 years, Rabbi Emeritus of Temple Kolemi Emmanuel, Rabbi Dr. Sheldon J. Har, and Fern. Been even more than mentors to me, but shown me what true leadership looks like. Deep gratitude as well to the senior rabbi of Kolemi Emmanuel, Rabbi Uri Romano, for being here. I look forward to many more years with you. Maybe not 30, but many more years partnering with you in the spiritual leadership of our congregation. The old Yiddish proverb, man plans and God laughs, was in my case, man weeps and God laughs. 4 years weeping the end of a relationship, God laughed, because God knew that very soon there would be the most remarkable person in my life. Thank you, Samuel Farkas, for leading me to this moment, for leading me to this time, and for agreeing to be my husband in a few short months' time. Amen.
I invite Naima Hirsch and her presenter, Rabbi Dr. Jill Hammer, and we should acknowledge that Jill has so nicely stepped in for Rabbi Rick Eisenberg, who is home with COVID, but is with us in spirit. Naima, the rabbis teach that Shema Garim, one's name, has a formative impact on one's character and destiny. As you embark on your career as a rabbi, you can take just pride in the service you have already given the Jewish community as a Jewish educator and a shlichat tzibur. Rabbi Yehuda in Masechet Ta'anit reflected on the ideal qualifications for those who would lead the Jewish community in prayer. Umerutze la'am v'yesh lo ni'ima v'kolo arev ובקיא לקרות בתורה ובנביאים ובכתובים, ולשנות במדרש, בהלכות ובאגדות, ובקיא בכל הברכות כולן. One who is admired by the community, a pleasant disposition, one that is ni'ima, a beautiful voice, a thorough knowledge of Torah and all varieties of sacred text and all forms of blessing. Among the blessings that will define your rabbinic career are your devotion to study, your concern for others, and your uniquely Israeli combination of strength and sensitivity. You've already demonstrated your bekiut, your expertise in these areas, impacting on multiple communities and sharing your love of Torah. We know you will do AJR proud as you continue on that path.
מרשות האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אפתח פי בשירה בהלל ובזמרה על תלמידתנו המופלגת משך שנה ושנה היו בעיניה כימים אחדים באהבתך אותך רב חזקי ואמצי להרבצת התורה ולצאת ולבוא לפני העדה לעמוד לשרת בשם הגבורה להודות לך ולחטאך באהבה מסמיכים כבודה להוראת ההוראה רב וחכמה תקרא בקהילה קדושה עמדי הרב נעימה בת יקותיאל זלמן הכהן ולאה מורה הוראה וחוכמה הודיענו משבעים פנים לתורה.
אני מאוד מכובדת להציג הרב נעימה, בת יקותיאל זלמן הכהן ולאה. It is my great honor to present Rabbi Naima Hirsch.
ערב טוב, ברוכים הבאים. Dear teachers, rabbis, my fellow ordinees, friends, guests, and beloved family. I'm so humbled and honored to be ordained today. And I'm deeply grateful to my congregation, Rodef Shalom, my Rabbi Richard Eisenberg, and Madame President Debbie Bowles, who is here, and my family and teachers, all of whom have provided me with encouragement and support. Thinking of the little girl that I was in Israel decades ago, I could never have imagined that women can be rabbis and the journey that brought me to this place. Rabbi Jonathan Sachs said, "To be a Jew is to be on a jury. The Jewish journey began when God said to Abraham, Lech Lecha. And later, Moshe Rabbeinu led the children of Israel on a journey for 40 years where they became a nation. The Torah recorded 42 places that they passed. The Torah described it like a drumbeat. Vayis'u vayachanu. Vayis'u vayachanu. They traveled and they rested. They traveled and they rested. Indeed, we are people who travel. We are restless, cannot stand still. As Torah guides us, we are always on a journey, both physically and spiritually. But the Torah closed Sefer Devarim without arriving at the destination, not yet entering the land of promise, את הארץ המובטחת. לא הגענו לארץ המובטחת בסוף ספר דברים. Teaching us that our journey is never ending. The journey through the wilderness took a generation. Children were born in the desert, and they continued the journey, which is now over 3,000 years old. It began before we were born, and it will continue after we leave this earth. We're responsible to pass it on to our next generation. My grandson is here. So that our children will continue. Okay. Well, there are journeys, but there are also some time to rest. And I just want to conclude that at this point, I'm taking a deep breath and I'm saying, this is a moment of rest. This is Shabbat. I'm going to rest. I'm going to chant a little Torah and maybe lead the Hallel, but I'm going to rest with my family, with me, with my friends. Everyone is coming to my home. We'll have a beautiful Shabbat together. So I conclude with just wishing everyone a blessing of peace and love. Toda rabba, erev tov, ולהתראות.
I invite Michael McClaskey and his presenter, Dr. Job Jindo. Michael, our tradition teaches that King David, the quintessential poet and sweet singer of Israel, was awakened each midnight by a wondrous harp to engage in deep Torah study. Like David, you are already celebrated for your musical gifts and leadership, and for your poetic soul. Like David, you have a deep commitment to scholarship and Torah study. You are admired by your teachers here at AJR, by your colleagues at the Cantors Assembly, and by your peers and students. You are celebrated for your quiet warmth and humble generosity of spirit. We applaud the depth of your capacity for love, love of learning, love of community, love of sacred text, love of Torah, and above all, love for your family. As both cantor and rabbi, you embody the vision of that original psalmist. Zmirot hayu li chukecha. Your laws are like beautiful songs to me. Just as you are a constant vocal supporter of others, we are very proud to sing your praises today.
Mershut ha'el, hagadol, hagibor, v'hanora, eftach pi, b'shira, b'halel, u'v'zimra, al talmideinu, hamuflag meshach, shana v'shana, hayu v'enav, kayamim achadim, ve'ahavto ota, rak chazak ve'ematz, leharbatzat ha'torah, ולצאת ולבוא לפני העדה, לעמוד לשרת בשם הגבורה, להודות לך ולייחדך באהבה, מסמיכים כבודו להוראת תורה, רב וחכם יקרא בקהילה קדושה. עמוד, 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 הרב משה דוד בן שאול וזלדה, מורה הורה, וחוכמה הורינו משבעים פנים לתורה.
It is my great pleasure to present to you Rabbi Chazan Michael David McCloskey.
There are some beautiful Yemenites here. One who recounts praise of the omnipresent resembles one who recounts that there is a great light illuminating some faraway place. But the one who sings a song of praise of the omnipresent resembles one who brings that light from there to here. Mehatam v'hacha. From there. 4 years ago, looking at rabbinical programs, I discovered AJR was exactly what I sought. A rigorous hybrid program in a warm community. But why rabbinical school? A passionate student and teacher of rabbinic text, I wanted to enhance my skills within the structure of a learning community. However, the most transformative aspects of rabbinical school that brought me from there to here, I never anticipated. To here. At AJR, I become a rabbi, but also a better cantor. My relationship with tefillah, with prayer, has deepened. I've begun to question the balance of keva, routine, and kavanah, intention, and innovation in our worship. I now see our services and rituals as containers, safe spaces for spiritual transportation, moving us from the remote there to the immediate here. I've fallen in love with the Bible all over again. The profundity of Peshat, the plain contextual meaning, the string quartet of Pashtanim, the importance of literary structure and relevance, which grows from the Peshat when we water it with our hopes, our concerns, our tears and joys. My Bible teachers have helped me to discover my own unique voice and the need for sharing it in a multivocal conversation. I've learned the Bible's importance not only within a Jewish context, but within liberal society, teaching profound insights about liberty, honoring the subjective experience of the other, and transcending our own reflexive self-interest. Getting from there to here, mehatam lachacha, requires embodiment and cultivating practices that strengthen our own spiritual core. Yoga, creative writing, visual art, musar, meditation, and movement. We can't begin to truly inspire and accompany others without our own growth and discipline. I've learned humility. No more than my space, no less than my place. Not to try to always be the smartest person in the room, because I'm not. When I truly listen and see my classmates, my heart is opened. I've learned to be a better father as well, more playful, discerning, loving, embodied, and self-aware.
I'd like to thank those who have helped me on this journey from there to here. My AJR teachers, my temple, my family and friends, my parents, my amazing partner in crime, Ray Feller, and our dear, kind, and hilarious kids, Leonardo and Momo. Thank you.
Before I call up Jerry Blum, our very first Kolbo student to be ordained, I would like to translate the upcoming reshut specifically for those being ordained by our Kolbo program. In the name of God, exalted beyond our capacity to express in hymn and blessing, let us raise our voices in song and praise of our dear student who has long persisted in a double course of study. Though the time has passed as mere days because of our love for him. We ordain you to spread God's word as rabbi and counselor to our holy congregation, and in sweet and skilled strains to lead our community in prayer as chazan. Arise, 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 Rabbi Cantor, ordained to lead the faithful, teach us words of Torah. God's laws have been as songs to me throughout my sojourn. I now invite Jerry Blum and his presenter, Rabbi Eli Shem Tov. Ze hayom asa Adonai, nagila v'nismecha bo. This is the day that God has made possible. We celebrate and rejoice. Jerry, you have worked toward this milestone for many years and have been undaunted by challenges along the way. This is a milestone for AJR as well as you are the first to receive both rabbinic and cantorial ordinations simultaneously. This remarkable achievement is the culmination of your lifelong love for Jewish music, Jewish learning, and Jewish life. You are caring and loving to friends and colleagues, and you bring out these qualities in others. The hallmarks of your love and commitment to Torah study are creativity in the practice and interpretation of Jewish law, an emphasis on inclusivity, and a deep desire to share your devotion to tradition. You are guided by the spirit of Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash, sing to God a new song. Your leadership has music at its core, devotion to the divine, and an emphasis on the ever-new insights to be found in our ancient tradition. We know that the Jewish community will be doubly blessed by your continued leadership.
Reshut Meramam. Al kol bracha v'shira, nora kol tehila v'zimra, al tamidenu hayakar, mizman lamad v'shana, hayu v'enav kiyamim achadim b'avato otach. מסמיכים כבודו להוראת הוראה, רב וחכם יקרא בקהילה הקדושה, וחזן מוסמך ירד לפני הטבע, בקול נעים ומעורב יערוך התפילה. עמוד Amod, Amod, Harav, Hechazan, Yehoshua Lev ben Menachem Mendel v'Esther Chaya, b'toch emunai. ולמדנו דברי תורה אדוני. זמירות היו לי חוקיך בבית מגורי.
I am so proud and so honored to present to you this evening Harav Hechazan, Rabbi Cantor Cherry Blum.
I paid them. Oh my God. Wow. Dear friends, I stand before you today after 11 plus years of study, preparation, hard work, and more than a few tears shed. I stand here with a profound sense of humility and pride. This very moment has been my dream since I was a child, and yet, until this exact second, I did not know that it would really happen. I did not know that it was possible. I'm so grateful for my teachers, my mentors, my congregants, my dear friends who have been more than supportive. You guys know who you are. You're sitting here today. And of course, my family who put up with my shtiklach and are still here to cheer me on. I don't know if today would ever have happened except for you being there for me. And I can only simply say thank you. I'm also proud of myself. And that's something that I never thought that I could say out loud. Clearly, therapy works. And I know the determination and the stick-to-itiveness and the personal sacrifice it took to get me to this place. And I remember along the way all of the self-doubt. But I did it, and for that I am proud. When I think about being a clay kodesh, a holy vessel, or a leader in general, the words of Isaiah 42:6-7, they resonate deeply with me. It says, I, Adonai, have called upon you in justice, and I have grasped you by the hand. I have watched over you, and I appoint you a covenant people, a light of nations, opening eyes of deprived of light, rescuing prisoners from confinement from the dungeons of those who sit in darkness. So the question arises, how do we become that light? In Halachic Man, Rav Joseph Soloveitchik relays a story. Rav Chaim of Brisk was once asked what the function of a rabbi is. And the Brisker Rebbe, who was Rav Soloveitchik's great-grandfather, he replied, to redress the grievances of those who are abandoned and alone, to protect the dignity of the poor, and to save the oppressed from the hands of the oppressor. Soloveitchik continues, neither the ritual decisions nor the political leadership constitutes the main task of halachic man. Far from it. The actualization of the ideals of justice and righteousness is the exact pillar of fire, the ore that we're talking about right now to be to nations, which the halachic man, the halachic person, follows when they, as a Rav or as Klei Kodesh and a teacher, serves their community. Hey, Mashal, the Reb Jerry. When we were born, each of us was given a keter or, a crown of light. Everybody should feel for that keter light. Does everybody have it there? Everybody? Good. It's there. And this is a very special light because it grows in intensity with each life's experience. With this keter, we can bring light to those in darkness. We can speak for those who feel abandoned or confined in prisons of loneliness and need. We can bring that light to our communities and the world if we only cultivate this keter or. The halacha will follow. But first, we as Klei Kodesh, we as leaders, need tzedek and rachamim and the ability to hear what is behind the cries of our people. And then only can we truly become Or LaGoyim, lights to the nations. In order to continue that light, we want to try something a little different. Because it is with true prayer, through voicing ourselves, that we can spread that light. So I'm going to ask something. I'm going to ask that you're going to sing along with me. You may not know it, but you will. And as my favorite Paitanit, Joni Mitchell, said, you just throw on a harmony. Anyone can do it. And if it doesn't sound great, it doesn't matter. Nishmat kol chai tivarech et shimcha Adonai Eloheinu Nishmat kol chai Tivarech et Shimcha Adonai Eloheinu Tirai lai lai yai lai lai yai la lai yai lai lai yai lai 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 yai lai lai yai lai lai yadai lai lai lai. Thank you.
Shalom, everyone. I'm Cantor Lisa Klinger-Cantor, Dean of Admissions at AJR, and it seems like only yesterday when I met all of you as you embarked on your journey to fulfill your dreams of becoming cantors and rabbis. And I would love everybody to please join me in Tefillah Haderech as we bless our new ordinees as they go on their way. May we be blessed as we go on our way. May we be guided in peace. May we be blessed with health and joy. May this be May we be sheltered by the wings of peace. May we be kept in safety and in love. May grace and compassion find their way to every soul. May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. Thank you, everyone.